1, go.
Welcome to episode 185 of the Blue Recluse. My name is Martin Larsen, and you're listening to the podcast about everything Blizzard. It's Sunday, April the 15th, 2018, and with me today, as per usual, Tom. You're here, right?
I'm here doing a little intro dance as we do. A very, very awesome intro, if I do say so myself. It really just puts you in the mood to talk about Blizzard games. Yeah, it really does.
And as per usual, Michael.
What's up? I'm here. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Good. And also, as a special guest, we have my friend, my temporary co-host, my compadre, Dusty from the Blizzard Umbrella.
What is up? I'm not gonna lie, that intro definitely met my expectations. I was expecting something pretty grandiose, and you guys did not disappoint. Thank you guys so much for having me on this week.
You are so welcome. So let's not waste more time. Let's just get into it. Start the show right about now.
I sense something elusive. Stay a while and listen. Well met. You are not prepared. This better be good. Existence is mysterious.
Loud and clear. Hello there.
Greetings, traveler. And welcome to the Blade Quiz.
God
I was
damn
so
it.
excited. I was so excited to get started that I pressed all the wrong buttons there.
It's because Dusty's here. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, my hands are sweating. Other parts of my body is sweating.
Shaking a little bit.
Here we go.
I mean, this guy, when you think of podcast voice, Dusty, I mean, he's got to be up there.
Come on now.
The velvet sounds from his vocal cords. It's
Keep going.
I mean, I'm just gonna be sitting here in a bit of a trance, listening to whatever he talks about. I've no idea. It won't be StarCraft. We know that much, but
Yes,
whatever we talk about, it's gonna be scintillating. I can't wait.
I'm ready, man. This is great. I'll pay you guys later.
Yes. We only accept checks, so that's good.
So Dusty, how's things? How's everything going over at the Blizzard Umbrella?
Things are great, man. We are on a regular schedule now until Ryan gets his job and everything. But we've so much happened in the Blizzard world lately that we really haven't had a lack of stuff to talk about. And so you guys know this, that doing what we do, that's always a good thing. And so for Ryan and I, we've just been having a really good time playing a lot of games together off stream, and it's been overall, man, it's been fantastic. And I will say this, I've been looking forward to this recording for the past week, ever since that Marty and I discussed this. And even today, went to church with the family, went to eat with the family, and I was like, guys, listen, okay? I know your blood, I know everything, I love you guys, but I got 3 dudes that I need to go talk about video games with, about like virtual cards and stuff like that. So I've got to go. I'm sorry, I love you guys, but I got to go. So you guys are very important to me.
Wow, thank you. So that was all we had for this show. So talk to you guys later. No, just kidding. Let's start out with
the feels are real.
The feels are real, yeah. So I'm all fluttered. I don't know what to say. So I'll just look at the show notes. Thank you.
That's what they're there for.
Good place to
The
start.
show notes told me to say thank you. The Heroes of the Storm Facebook page also has something very important. It's a poll. And Tom, what is this all about?
It's a poll. Poll.
It's a
It's a poll.
It's a poll. We call it
Poll.
yes. I just want to say hi to Frasley, who's in the chat, by the way. Hello, Frasley. Yes, a poll on the Facebook page, Heroes of the Storm. We are straight in there today with some big news. Big news. So, yeah, this went out last night, or yesterday. Heroes of the Storm placing a vote. You can vote on this poll for your favorite Deckard Cain quote. So, I mean, this is very serious. There's lots of classics out there. So basically, if you find the link in our show notes, you can head over to the Heroes of the Storm page and vote on this. And I'm sure there's going to be, big consequences for whichever quote wins. Vote, click thumbs up if you like the quote, "Stay a while and listen." If your favorite Decker King quote is "Stay a while and listen," use the heart emoji. And if your favorite Decker King quote is "Stay a while and listen," use the crying face emoji. And finally, if your favorite Decker King quote is "Stay a while and listen," use the shocked face emoji. So, guys, your favorite Decker King quote.
Personally, I'm a little bit more to the shocked emoji. That I think that's where I am.
Like the "Stay a while and listen." Yeah,
that one.
I'm stuck between "Stay a while and listen" and "Stay a while and listen," but I'm gonna maybe mull it over for the rest of this evening and then make my decision tomorrow. So I definitely encourage everyone else. Let's get over there. Let's make our opinion count. Everyone has a vote. You should always vote when you have the chance, right, Dusty? That's
yes.
I think that's something you do over in your country.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, it is. I've got something to say about this. The one that I would go for is the one in the bottom right where it's got the little O face there where he's kind of in shock. Because at that point, I think basically what he's doing is trying to bide time because I think someone's about to kill him. And so he's like, "Stay a while and listen," So he's just like, "Listen, let's bide some time a little bit before something bad happens to me." So I think I like that one. I like the shocked Deckard King quote.
I love how you've just read a totally different layer into that quote.
That's what I do.
You might have swayed my vote there. You might have swayed my vote.
Also, Michael, this was the big news of the week for Heroes of the Storm, but we had like a small developer update as well. Do you have any highlights from that we should talk and know about?
So obviously this is all in text form, and they're going to be doing, the highlight of it is that they're going to be doing an AMA where they're going to be going into more information on all of the information that it's going to begin at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It already happened. It already happened. But pretty much they are looking into changes to their internal system in terms of MMR and matchmaking, and how they have made a big focus on reducing the queue times, which has in turn led to you getting into games quicker, but maybe not giving you the game that you deserve to be in based off your skill level. So they're going back to the drawing board, taking a look at that, and they might let you stick in the queue a little bit longer to be matched with a group that is representative of your skill level. That being said, go ahead.
So I guess they're starting to do a little bit more. They're looking a little bit to Overwatch, I guess, because they have that right now, right? Where you're a little bit longer in the queues, so you can get those matches that actually suit you, right?
Yeah, so that's what they're attempting to do. This has been an issue for a long time in Heroes of the Storm, is just being paired in bad groups.
I know we're not talking about Overwatch, but what's the opinions over there right now?
Dusty, go ahead, take it. I know Dusty has strong opinions on the matchmaking in Overwatch.
Okay, because before I get you started, Dusty, we played some games the other night, and I actually felt that even though the queues were a little bit longer, it wasn't too long, it wasn't bad, but they were a little bit longer. I actually felt like we got into some good matches. We won most of them.
That's why they were good.
Lost a few. No, we also lost a few, but it was not like we were not getting steamrolled. We actually had a good fight. We could have possibly turned it around. That's how I felt, at least from those few matches. But what do you think, Dusty? I think you play it a little bit more than I do.
Yeah, I think the matches were competitive, and I even think when Michael and I played, they were fairly competitive. We ended up, going, I think, 2-4. We had opportunity to kind of even it out there. The last game was really bad, but other than that, as far as the games go, I feel like with Overwatch, I feel like it's the initial ranking, and I know everyone's gonna say this, right? Oh, I should be at a higher rank. I should be at this or that. But I feel like I put in the time every season, and I'll climb up, about to get out of bronze into silver, and then I'll get matched up, it seems like 3 or 4 games with, a team who everybody wants to play Genji or Hanzo. Nobody wants to tank. Nobody wants to heal. So obviously you're going to get matched with bad eggs. I think they've made some really good improvements. It's with Overwatch, what bothers me is the initial ranking. When you do placements like this time, I think I went like 7-3, and I still got placed, middle ground bronze. And And I feel like it should have been a little better than that. I feel like every season I'm getting better. I truly feel that way. And so I feel like I should be ranked a little higher. But as far as the competitiveness of the games go, I think it is getting better. But I just get so frustrated with the different players who aren't willing to play support or tank, where, you know, normally I would have to go. Or Marty, like every game we played, it seemed like you were playing a tank, I was playing either Moira or a support, and we either had to switch back and forth, except for that epic time you had to play of the game on Reaper, which, it's going to be like a fishing story where, like, every time you ask someone how big the fish was, it was like it gets bigger every time. So with Marty, every time we talk about this play of the game, it's going to get better and better. Eventually, he's going to, like, kill, like, 11 players at one time. And so, I don't know. It was a pretty epic play, though.
Yeah, I only killed 10, though. I only killed 10.
All right, and also there are a few more things here, and these ones are actually relatively big. Placement matches in terms of Hero League, for those out there that do competitive Heroes of the Storm, they're going to be making a change to how you get into your placement matches. They say that initially it was intended to kind of give the system some information based on your ability level, but as people continue to play more and more and more, that's also being stored in the game's internal database. So essentially what they're saying is that the more games you play during the season, the less amount of placement matches you will have to do at the beginning of the next season, all the way up until as little as you might only need to play one match of Heroes of the Storm, and you'll automatically get your placement based off that. So the more you play, the more the system has in terms of your skill level, so the less you have to worry about doing 10 placement matches, which it can be a grind just to get through placement matches sometimes. In both Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch, they both kind of have the same thing, where you got to get through 10 just to be told you suck. Guess what? I know I suck. I don't need you to tell me. Okay, just let me play one and put me where I need to go. So pretty much the more you play, the easier it's going to get. Also,
go ahead. Did they give a percentage of, like, how many games you'd have to play to eliminate, like, one placement match? Like, did they give details on that, or is it just like, oh, if you play a whole bunch, you'll cut some off?
Yeah, the wording is the more games you play during a season, the less necessary it becomes to reassess you at the start of the next. So it doesn't give you an exact number.
It seems like a good system for not just players that play a lot, but also making the placement matches a bit fairer for people who don't play as much as well. Because if there's, you know, people who play a lot and then they have to go through the whole 10 match placement, if you're taking them away from the pool a little bit more, then you are making that bit of a divide. But I think when it comes to placement matches, that's pretty important to get your kind of starting hold on your kind of ranked position. And if you can separate that a bit more by doing that, that seems like a good change in my opinion.
Yeah, I know it's a podcast and the best discussions come when we disagree, but I actually have to agree with everything here as well. I think it makes good sense that if you're playing a lot, then why would you have to place every month? I mean, sure, it's fine if it's a few matches, but I don't think that those few matches will change how good you are at the game. So I guess it makes good sense. And when people like me come around who only play it like once a month, then it's probably all right that I have to play a little bit more placement matches, because the game
I feel like you should have to play more matches.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
more than 10.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, he hasn't played for 3 months. He's got to play 79 games to place.
Yeah, it goes a lot further. Yeah.
All right, and then there are a couple more things here that will change the game. First of all, hero bans and swaps. They're now adding a third ban for each team during the draft phase. So for those who don't play undrafted or ranked mode and you just play quick match or against the AI or things like that, there are drafts and you can ban out heroes and things like that so that you can kind of create different matchups. You can adjust to the other team, and it's a pick ban phase, so you go back and forth. They're now adding a third ban to it. They state that now the hero roster has grown to an appropriate size. They feel like this is the best time to incorporate it. This is similar to League of Legends. They have like 10. They have 10 bans that you're allowed, but they're all done at the beginning of the game. This one is done mid-ban phase rather than like a third phase. So you'll get 1 in the beginning, and then you'll get 2 in the in the mid phase. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then also, while it's not being introduced,
this will also be tournament, right? It's not just in this. It's also for the tournament. So for
yeah, it's
BlizzCon.
already existing in the well, not in the live state, but yes, it will be for the tournaments too. So this will be reflected all around. And then finally, they're thinking about, they've heard the feedback from the community of the hero swap feature. So tournament play, they pick their heroes not based off of who gets to pick first out of the group. Like if we're all a team and I get to pick first, and guess what? I get to choose, like, I'll be tank or I'll be the assassin. What they do in competitive play is they pick the heroes that they want to build their team around, and then they assign their players their roles based off of those heroes. Now, they're saying that there may be a lot to go with it if they try to introduce it to like more of the wider spectrum of things. So they're thinking on ways to incorporate it, but they've seen it, they're thinking about adding it, and they say they may add it to unranked draft as a test before they push it into Hero League. That way they can see how people respond to it, how people work together with it, and just see how the system is received overall before they introduce it to the more I guess you'd call it casual competitive mode. So, interesting things coming in, as well as just some new hero balances. Our boy Jimmy's getting reworked. So, Jimmy Rayner is getting reworked. Other than that, more things on toxicity and reporting, how they're planning on adjusting their systems to try and get the information to them more quickly and more accurately.
And all the toxicity talk and stuff that's been talked about a lot lately, it all sparked from that one episode from the Blizzard umbrella, right?
Yes, Blizzard was listening, and I think they stated in the small print all the way down below, just to kind of give credit, somewhere hidden in the comments, it says BT dubs, Blizzard umbrella, we stole your idea.
they better give us some credit. Two points on that. I think the bans make sense, right? Because the more heroes that get implemented into the game, the more of those bans make sense as far as increasing that number. And secondly, I think with HOTS right now, I would be curious to know, I know Blizzard doesn't release numbers of as far as financial results, as far as exact data anymore, but I would be curious to know as far as like the health of the game as they've made these changes. And I know there was a big deal last week about them not being very communicative with the community. And so I'm just curious to see kind of as far as like, I know, there's League, there's Dota, and then a couple tiers down there's HOTS, and I know Blizzard would like to see that kind of go up into the same stratosphere as those other two games. So I'm just curious to know the health of this game. I know I still play it occasionally, not near as much as what I did, but I really like the game and I want to see it succeed. I just like to know I love they're making these changes. I think that the more they can do to implement changes to make the community happier and have a good time playing the game, that's always a good thing.
On your note right there, Blizzard actually addresses that, and they talk about how they recognize that they haven't been as communicative with the community as they could have been, and going forward they want to increase their presence and share more of their thoughts and plans with the community, and just get more in touch with what's going on. So they are looking into exactly what you just said.
And also, when Deckard Cain hits, obviously the game will become so much better, and Tom will start playing that exclusively. He'll drop out of Hearthstone and only play Deckard Cain for the rest of his life. So, I mean, it can only go forward and upward from here, right?
I cannot tell you guys, like, there's only two characters that I wanted in this game, and one of them was Deckard Cain, and so he's done now. And then the next one is the Hearthstone, the Innkeeper. And if we can get the Innkeeper in here throwing cards at people, then I'm done. Like, like epic, legendary, just like throwing stuff. Like, I could just imagine the Innkeeper, I know. I think it would be amazing. I don't know. I just think it would be amazing.
Dusty, you've made a request on the Blue Recluse, and as we know, literally anytime you ask for something on the Blue Recluse, it happens, and usually within a few weeks. Maybe this one won't be as quick, you don't know, but you have now put that out into the universe, and it's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen. Don't be shocked when you open up some Heroes of the Storm news to read that the Innkeeper from Hearthstone is being added, because you've said it on this show, and you might as well just click the coin into the wishing well. That's it. It's done. Don't worry about it. It's done.
Think about the opportunity.
Our track record is though that it takes roughly 4 years though. to get into the game.
Hey,
4 years,
like
several petitions, and a lot of whining in
like,
between.
I want him to have like an ability called coin flip, where if it's like if you get it one side of the coin, you get to go first or second, and you actually get a little advantage like you do in Hearthstone. Like there's so many different things that you could do. I want him to have an ability that's called burn the rope, where that moron is going to burn the rope on turn 1, and all he's going to do is play a firefly. Like I want all of this stuff. Like there's so many ideas. Blizzard, just hire me. Just hire me, okay? Come on.
I just want to plug your show for a second, Dusty. The Blizzard umbrella, episode 41. We Marty just mentioned it there, where you were talking about toxicity with Zupercat from Ask Mr. Robot, and I know you're very proud of that episode, and I remember listening to it, and it's an amazing episode. Like I love listening to your show anyway, but this one was particularly brilliant because it covered the subject of toxicity in a way that I'd never really looked at it before, and it almost looked at the science behind the what and the why, and it made me think a little bit more about my actions and how I can maybe be a better person to try and manifest a better outcome to when people are toxic online as well. And I would recommend anybody listening to this show, go listen to the Blizzard Umbrella anyway if you want to, but specifically episode 41, go and check that out, because it's such an interesting listen to, and it might even just change the way you play video games online. And that's that's a pretty big statement, but honestly it's changed my mindset a little bit for the better. And it was an amazing episode, Dusty, so I just wanted to bring that up again. And
I disagree with you, Tom. That was the worst episode ever, and I think we should talk about that. No again.
Talk about how bad it actually was.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, those
I
guys.
do appreciate it. I appreciate that, Tom. That means a lot to me. You guys know this, like, as content creators, like when you can create something that could make a difference or can go beyond just the surface level of stuff, and that was kind of what we were wanting to do. I got to give a lot of that credit to Ryan, my co-host, my compadre. I know he's in chat. He's in chat right now. He's a little upset at all of us, but that's okay. But he and Zoop, they kind of set that up, but then we kind of took it and kind of ran with it. But Zoop did such a great job laying that out there. And a lot of times as gamers, all we think about is just, you open a game and you start playing it, but there's other people involved, and it's good stuff.
That's only one problem though. If we actually manage to fix all this, how do you know that you made it when you're on an internet content creator? Because you made it when people are being mean to you, right?
That's exactly right.
So we need a new way to figure out how we made it then.
I often tell my wife, I said, do not ever go and read any of the comments of my YouTube videos, because you will want us to move out of the country and go get in a hole, because these people are typing really mean things about your husband. So don't go read these things.
If you're sensitive, don't go there. Don't go up that road.
I just want to say that I really enjoyed that show as well, and it also made me think about how a lot more things are connected, because I think one of the things that I actually were like, oh yeah, that's actually right, was when Supercat started talking about people who create guides, because they're actually trying to be helpful, but they are sort of always also validating other people to use that as ammunition when people don't follow that guide and things like that. So it definitely made me think a lot more about how you carry yourself in these games and what you say and what you do. So definitely worth a listen. We'll link to it again in the show notes.
Yeah, it's an okay episode. It's an okay episode.
They're talking really nice to me right now, but if you guys could only hear the conversation that I hopped into on Discord the other day, it's a very dangerous place. I mean, it's pretty. It was
don't
pretty
listen.
toxic,
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
It was the good toxic.
It was only when he showed up that it started getting that way. Coincidence?
I did show up unannounced, by the way.
Yeah, see? Crashed the party and then got upset when people said stuff.
It's like it's one of those bars that you feel like during the day when the sun's out, you could bring your family down to the Blue Recluse and grab a few chicken wings and some hot sauce, and it'd be all okay. But sometimes that same bar that you have such warm feelings in during the day, you stumble in there at night, you go, whoa, Who's those strange guys in the corner? And
Why are they twerking over there?
what's all this broken glass? You know, it's just night and day, and you happen to stumble in during the night, and yeah, you know, it was. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, another place you could go and have a good time is a BlizzCon.
Ooh.
And we got the dates for when we can buy the tickets.
Can you though?
Announcement.
Can you though?
That's the question. Though.
They're like
Can you
the
get
love
those?
rocket. I'm not sure if they really
I was about
exist.
to say that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I made it there, and I still don't believe that the tickets exist.
I just appeared there.
I
2
just-
days of my life missing.
Yes.
I swallowed this blue pill, and suddenly I was in a world of orcs.
That's something different, Tom. We should talk about that after the show.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
So, Michael, when is it? When can you buy these tickets? Are they going up for sale soon? When are we going to stay awake all night so we can get some tickets?
They are going on sale in May. What is it? May 9th and I believe May 12th,
Ooh.
if I am correct. I wasn't expecting you to ask me the dates right away. I didn't have it
I
up.
think it's May 10th and May 12th. So May 10th starting at 4 Central Time or CEST, whatever that is. I hate time zones. And then May 12th.
Okay.
Whatever that is. That's probably a good time for. No, it's not a good time. That's 3 o'clock in the morning for me, and 4 o'clock in the morning for Mike. That's not very European friendly. So I do like how they have a decent time for US and a decent time for Europe. Unfortunately, the decent time for Europe comes second. So we're obviously,
and,
you know, as always, Europe second best. But I mean, I'm not going to get into that this week. But there we go.
And
That's
Dusty,
just-
I was right. It was the May 9th and the 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at their website. They must have it wrong on here.
I'm
That
looking
says-
at the
yeah, it says-
BlizzCon website.
Oh,
so
okay,
there's
sweet.
contradictions already. Even Blizzard don't even know. when
First
their
round of
tickets
tickets go on sale 5/9/2018.
Yep. I'm sure you're right. I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at the one that I was linked to. So that was probably my bad there.
Oh,
Misinformation.
This is the European Blizzard news blog. So obviously they don't take time to fact check here. They're just giving the Europeans the wrong information.
It could also be something to do with time zones that are
Maybe
Europe.
maybe if we give them the wrong date, they won't show up.
There will be less Europeans at BlizzCon.
We give them the wrong date.
Sabotage.
Of course, it's Thursday for Europe, but still Wednesday.
Hmm.
I mean, wow. Consider my mind blown right now.
You're welcome. It's not the first time. Yo. So, BlizzCon, you guys going over at the Blizzard umbrella?
Man, you know, we talked about this on the show, and then afterwards, I want to so bad. I don't think I'll be able to go this year, but I want to go ahead and work towards it. I mean, if we can get like press passes, like we've talked about before, I'm game. I'm ready, and hopefully you guys would be too, because maybe we could like room together or like all stay in the same place
yeah.
and figure something out and hang out, because that would be a lot of fun to actually get to meet you guys and actually really in person meet Ryan. But I've always wanted to go.
Does he have to come? Okay.
Yeah, I think he does.
But
But
it's sounding so promising up to that moment.
Tom's like, oh, I get to room with Dusty. That sounds pretty cool. Oh, the Ryan's gonna come. Oh, I don't
He's
know.
gonna
I
like
don't
put
know
his
about that.
shirts everywhere. Like,
I was
You're
about
gonna
to ask if
sit
Shirt Chair
everywhere.
needs an extra ticket.
Yes, it will be everywhere. But I mean, have all of you guys gotten to go to BlizzCon?
I have.
Nope, never.
Nope, never. Okay, because I know Tom and Marty, you guys did the thing at Marty's place last year, which looked like
we did.
a whole lot of fun. It looked like a whole lot of fun. So, I mean, maybe we could do something like that. I don't know.
you actually, I don't know what to say. Yeah, so every year, me and Marty try and meet up. Either he comes to my house or I go to his place, and we get the virtual ticket. And it's probably better than actually being there. If I'm honest.
think it probably is. Yeah.
Because
No germs. Wow.
no
Not a
germs.
That's
Wow,
not,
there's
that is not. That was many.
Marty always seems to get sick. I don't know why. But yeah, I'd love to go this year. Gotta see if I can even make the ticket purchase, even getting into the queue to get the chance to purchase the tickets. I mean, it's a quest, isn't it? I mean, it is the hardest quest in World of Warcraft. It's getting the BlizzCon tickets. You can, it's RNG, luck of the draw. But I mean, there's quite a lot of people in this community. You could try and get a few people on board to pick up a few extra tickets and make it work. I think we could make it work. So I think I'm gonna try and go for it because I'm gonna be over that side of the world in November. So I think I gotta grab it. I gotta just go. I want to go to BlizzCon so much. It just feels like.
I mean, if we get tickets, then I'm going as well. If we're getting tickets, I'm going. I don't know where I'll get the money. I'll rubber bank later. I'll sell some gold. I don't know.
Just sell some gold because it's. I feel like WoW Gold, it's pretty close to Bitcoin these days. I know there's a slight difference, but keep grinding, keep selling your herbs, and there's a new expansion coming. That's always a great time to make gold. So just keep going, keep grinding, keep killing those
everyone always says that BlizzCon the best thing is the people, and I think that being able to hang out with you guys and Ryan and everything that would be a lot of fun. So I mean, maybe if we could get the press pass, Blizzard, please come on. I mean, our podcasts are ginormous. Come on, we need press passes, Blizzard. That would just be amazing if we could somehow swing that.
I mean, our podcast and your podcast together, we have at least 5 people listening.
We got at least
we're listening. All of us are listening to each other's podcast. So I mean,
my mom, Ryan's mom. Everybody's mom.
Double it
dad,
because we all have a significant other. We all have a +1.
We all have
no. Wait a minute.
Everyone's like, yours is the only one that actually watches this damn show.
Wait a minute. The hardest quest for me, Tom just said the hardest quest is getting BlizzCon tickets. The hardest quest will be for me is to explain to my wife exactly what I'm doing. Wait, baby, you're saying that you're wanting to go and fly to California to go and gallivant around with people dressed up as gnomes and orcs? What is this place again? And will you be sober? Yes, the answer to all those questions are yes, yes, yes. But yeah, my wife has no idea what any of this stuff is, and so that's the hardest quest. But she's supportive of it. She just doesn't know what any of it is.
Did you just say you'll be sober at BlizzCon? No.
Officially, all being
on the
sober
record.
and responsible.
On the record.
Well, I mean, somebody has to keep everybody safe. I personally don't really drink any at all ever. So for me, I would have to keep you guys, like, I would drive you guys around if that's what you guys wanted me to do.
Sounds good.
I'm a good friend.
If I get in, I'm gonna buy Dusty a ticket. Screw it. I'm gonna buy Dusty a ticket.
He's gonna be like our personal chauffeur. He's like our level 1 mount, where we're just. He's there.
Wait a minute. So I'm level 1. I don't even get level like a. Come on.
No, but this is vanilla level 1 because it's expensive. You have to buy a whole ticket. Okay, vanilla.
Okay.
The gold doesn't come cheap now. Okay.
Frasley says you can buy BlizzCon tickets with gold. No, he's only.
Kidding.
Unfortunately. I mean, he got me excited there for a second.
He got me excited. Yeah, me too.
I think if you right-click on his name, you can ban him.
I thought gnomes were already banned from our chat, but you can't keep gnomes out because
they're
so
sneaky.
Small. They get through every crack.
Sneaky,
you think you've covered every place of the blue recluse, and then they get in somewhere, so it's fine. And yeah, I think that would destroy the Warcraft economy for good. Finally, just like, you can buy BlizzCon tickets with gold. I mean, that's it. I mean, you thought it was over when you were able to buy Destiny 2. I mean, what a con that was to get a lot of gold out of the system, right? Well, they got us there.
Still got that Warlord's money left over? Buy some BlizzCon tickets.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, Marty could just probably get us all one, no worries.
Marty could spot us all.
Yeah, it's like, just run a few missions, just go to the mission table and go, reward BlizzCon ticket. Oh, nice.
Wouldn't that be epic though if they threw that in there?
Your in-game mail.
Yeah.
You just log into World War.
We're all talking at the same time.
Yeah. I was about to say, imagine checking your mailbox in game. You just go to World of Warcraft. Oh, look, I got a message. Oh, it's from the developers. Probably some lost item again. Oh, crap. BlizzCon tickets. What? That would be.
This can't be real. Delete.
Damn hackers. Trying to get me to click on your thing? Nope.
It's just got me thinking of like Ready Player One and like having some sort of in-game event to win a ticket to BlizzCon, like the golden ticket. It's like find the golden gnome and win.
You heard it here first, folks. There is an Easter egg inside World of Warcraft that gives you 2 tickets to BlizzCon. Now go find it.
That would be incredible. Imagine they did that every year. Like, so, I don't know how they would do it to balance it. Maybe they could make it like you have to go and do the first aid quest where you have to. No, I think we talked about that a few weeks ago. That didn't really go down too well, the first aid quest.
Let's move on. Tom killed the moment.
No.
You killed the moment.
I mean, how would you do it? Pet battles? Battlegrounds?
No, you have to stay in the
think
forest
they
killing
should-
boars.
They should do it in every game. So give out 1 BlizzCon ticket RNG in every game. So in Hearthstone, 1 person randomly would get a quest, and if they completed like a game, they would get the BlizzCon ticket. And Heroes of the Storm, randomly you'd get a quest. Overwatch, randomly at the end of a match, just like some screen that's just like, "You're going to BlizzCon," and a whole bunch of like confetti everywhere. I mean, one person in every game.
And then
Nobody
if you
likes
do the quest on April 1st, then you owe someone a ticket. Or something?
Yes, yeah, you got to pay for somebody else's.
Alright,
boy.
alright.
There you go. I mean, I feel like Blizzard may take that idea. I mean, we've said it on the show, so obviously it is going to happen.
Roughly around 4 years.
4 years time. Frasley was also asking Dusty to request gnomes in World of Warcraft cinematics. I'm going to encourage you not to wish for that, because that, as much as powerful as we are here, even we can't make that happen.
We have
I'm sorry.
limits. We have
Yeah,
limits.
we have limits. I mean, come on.
What was the one in the Legion cinematic? What was the name of that gnome? The leader
Mechatork?
of
Mechatork.
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just going to tell you
I don't
guys.
know why I
if you're
forgot that.
watching, if you're listening, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. If you listen to our show, you know that I'm god awful at names. But yeah, Mechatork. That was Frasley. That was pretty cool, man. I mean, seeing him in there riding his little doodad, kind of spurting around. That's pretty cool.
Frasley wants to
Apparently
see
he
it in
was
the
played
main
by an actor,
cinematic.
though.
He was though, wasn't he?
No, like the Legion introduction trailer, like where you see Varian on the ship and stuff. Like he wants to see a
Okay, I
gnome
got
right
you.
there. So
That
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean,
agree.
even in the Battle for Azeroth cinematic, we have all the races everywhere.
And there's no gnome. There's
no
no
gnomes
gnome.
at all.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. to Render those small gnomes or something. I don't know.
It's too expensive.
we have to create a new system to fit them in there.
And we've got a wild fist in the chat as well, and I mean, I'm totally overcome right now.
You were asking how you know if you made it big without
there we
the
go.
haters.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. If this is in your
One
chat,
half.
you've made it.
one ball of lagging balls is in our chat right now.
No,
I'm
wasn't Thorn there
happy.
earlier?
Was he?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, but I mean, the best ball was there, right?
Thorn.
Oh, I love Thorn. I love Thorn. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yes, so
Yeah.
bit overwhelmed right now. Somebody should really take direction in the show. We should probably move on because we've been rambling a bit about gnomes.
We have.
I feel like we've
have.
hit our gnome quota, right?
So
Are we
we
good?
have met our gnome quota. So
Yes, we just get
Dusty,
confirmation through the earpiece that we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dusty, the Witchwood is live. It's been live for less than a week. And how are you faring so far?
What is this?
What
What is that?
That is what a new Hearthstone expansion does to me. It makes me go deep into my pockets.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pockets.
we have a giveaway.
And,
No, I'm just kidding.
And buy these stupid cards. Yeah, man, Witchwood has been great. I've been playing a lot of Hearthstone, and Tom, I know you have as well.
Oh, yeah.
Michael and Marty, I think you guys probably have as well.
Mhm.
And I think we're going to kind of talk about a couple of things. There's probably some pros and cons about this expansion right now. There's a couple of cards that I think possibly could be troublesome, and I think they're going to have to do something about.
My claws, the
You've
if
been
I have to-
Shudderwocked.
If I have to hear that sound, it's going to be in my nightmares. It's absolutely horrendous.
What sound is
I
it?
hate that sound.
What sound was
Don't do it again, Marty. Don't do it again, please. Don't do it again.
Oh, right.
Fight, my claws, the catch.
I hate that card.
I'm telling you.
I
It's
don't know.
awful.
I don't know how it is in the higher ranks, but down where I am and at around rank 21, it's horrible. Every shaman plays that freaking deck. So, and I don't know. I'm so fucking tired of it.
Whoa, dropping the
Yeah.
F word.
I
That's
know.
bad.
I'm sorry.
He's
That's how
really-
tired I am.
He's really upset about it. I think that unfortunately this is one of the better expansions, but I think that if they don't do something quick about that card, I think possibly it's gonna leave a pretty bad stain on the expansion altogether. Because I think overall the Echo and Rush stuff in the expansion is some of the most. It takes me back to Discover, back in League of Explorers. Discover is my favorite keyword in Hearthstone, and it's my favorite mechanic to play around with because it gives the players so many options. And Rush does the same thing, as well as Echo. It gives you the opportunity to think about things and really kind of, piece some plays together. But if they don't do something, it's going to be really, really. Because I played ladder. It was like I think I was ranked like 13 or 14, and I ran into about 3 shamans in a row, and the rest of the people I went up against was Paladin, and they were playing either the odd or even, which is very oppressive as well. And so I think that if they don't do something about it, it's really going to look bad on this expansion. So hopefully they'll act a little quicker, but I don't think they will. The Team 5 is very hesitant about nerfing and removing different mechanics like that.
The thing that really annoys me the most, though, is because I don't really play Hearthstone that much, but I actually found some joy in playing Hearthstone again. I really enjoyed it, and then I started running into the Shaman deck over and over and over again, and I lost to almost all of them except like I think two times where he messed up his something and it didn't quite work as intended, and then he just left. But like straight up beaten one of the shamans, I haven't done that yet. And
I gotta ask a question here, guys. Why do we start off on the negative stuff? Why do we
so
just
we can get it so we can get it out of the way, so we can just focus on the positive.
Yeah, we
right?
build
I knew
into
that-
it.
Get it
build
out of the
into
way
it.
and go to the
I knew that
positive.
I knew that it would be brought up, right? Because any conversation in Hearthstone podcasts for the next week or two is going to be about this card. I guarantee you.
About what
And
card?
so-
Jaws that bite, my claws that catch.
But it's not even necessarily that the Shudderwock. I can't even say it. It's not even really that. I mean, it is that
He
card,
who
but
must not be named.
it's the combination
It's the
of
combination.
of that other card that does the battle cry that removes 3 health from you and adds 3 life to your opponent. That's with that combination, with that combo. Again, honestly, guys, I don't think it's OP. I really don't. I don't think it's.
No.
I don't think it's broken.
I agree.
I think what's the problem is it's just not fun to play against, and it's not. To be honest with you, I played the deck. It's not that fun to play, and so for me, I hope they look at it and they're like, okay, this is a little much. Because what if you're a new Hearthstone player and you jump in there and you get hit with shaman after shaman? If you don't know what's going on, it's going to confuse the heck out of you because you're like, wait a minute. So the battle cry is that it makes this thing battle cry again, and then it reduces the. It's going to confuse people. So I hope they do a little better job.
I had no clue what was going on. I had Shadow Play on, and I actually saved the clip so I could upload it for you guys. I was on you were streaming that night, and I was just watching you stream, and so we were sort of talking at the same time. And I had no clue what the hell was going on, but I thought it was so annoying that I couldn't touch my cards for 6 minutes or something like that. Where it was just doing random stuff. But I think that aspect, Tom, has been fixed by now, right? So the animations is a little bit quicker now, right?
I think so because I was playing on the ladder earlier with a paladin deck, which includes Prince Liam, which when you play it's a legendary, it changes your 1-cost minions into legendary. So I managed to get Shudderwock in my paladin deck. I was like, yes, this is game's over. And I played him, and the animation seemed to resolve extremely quickly. So I don't know if this was a bug that happens when you play Shudderwock as a non-shaman, or they hotfixed it to just speed through those animations, which I think that was the big thing with this card. It wasn't that it was kind of an imbalance of actions. It was more that you could just load up all these battle cries and they continually get going, and then you almost would miss your turn if you were the opponent. And I feel like it was more a technical side of things.
But, it is also that you lose so much health to it, because I was at full health and I ended up at like 12 health after everything has transpired, and it took 5 minutes to get to it. So it's also for me at least, it's also the fact that it's almost like a 1-turn kill, and I mean, sure, it takes a few turns to set it up, but once that card is played, then it's pretty much game over unless you can kill the opponent in the next turn.
Yeah, but I mean, one turn kill decks are not, an uncommon place in Hearthstone. I was actually thinking about this today. I was thinking about like the olden days of Hearthstone. I'm already saying there's olden days in Hearthstone, but I feel like before Old Gods, for example, your way of winning was more. It wasn't as obvious. Okay, so when Old Gods came in, you had cards like Cthulhu, Zoth, which were like, oh yeah, put all these Death Rattles in, or play all these Carfoon cards, and then at the end you play this one minion that does this thing, which probably wins you the game. And there's a lot of cards like that in the game now. For example, like the Warlock Death Knight Gul'dan, he like resurrects all the demons, and it's like, yeah, it's just these big cards now that you just get to these points where somebody plays this card and it just it does this big massive thing and it's probably over. It feels like there's a lot of those moments now where yeah, you can control the game, but then there's just this big boom at the end of the game where it's like, it's fun to do, but when you're on the receiving end of that, a lot of the time it's like, well, I played a really good game here, but because I know I got to kill their minions, but they're just going to be able to resurrect them and bring them back for really cheap. And you just almost have this soft timer on the game that it's going to end unless you kill them before that moment happens. And I feel like it's less it's more obvious now how to do that because the cards tell you how to do that, and it's kind of been that way since Old Gods. I think that's maybe something that's a bit of an issue.
I think it also has to do with all the utility that the shaman had, because I had him down to like 4 health, and then all of a sudden he throws down the healing rain, whatever, where he heals for an amazing amount of health.
Healing rain.
Yeah,
rain.
And then I had a lot of minions out, and then he has the was it volcano or something, where it does 15 damage, and he has 2 of those, and he has 2 of the healing rains, and on top of that, they have this as well. I just think for me, it's not fun to play against that whole utility, that whole kit. I think
Should have killed him before he played Shudderwock. There you go.
Yeah, I tried to. I had him down to 4 health.
Should have tried harder. There you go. Kill or be killed, Marty. That's it. You don't wait around. Don't wait around for the Shudderwock. And I want to talk about something positive. I want to infuse this conversation with some positivity, because I know it's easy. I know it's easy to go into an expansion, and even myself, I was on the ladder a bit, and I was like, it can get a bit frustrating, especially when you're trying to experiment. I think it's when you're just trying to be more experimental, and then you're just getting completely annihilated. It's a little bit disheartening. But one feature that did get added to the game this week was the shared deck feature, and I wanted to really say how much I really appreciate this. And as a European player who knows some people across the big pond over in the States, just me and Michael tested out earlier, and I've tested out with my girlfriend as well. And it's great just to be able to say, hey Michael, you wanna play a game of Hearthstone? Like, I've got a few cards, I've been playing this game for a while. I'll make you a deck. We play this deck, and I gave him the good old cube block deck. I didn't give him any rubbishy. I give him high quality standard European made Hearthstone deck, and we had a couple of games. It's just awesome just to be able to say, hey, look, I'm sorry you can't complete your quest because it's not your American account, but at least we can have a couple of fun games, competitive games where you've got access to a bigger collection. If you were just to play your default European account, and obviously I'll head over to America someday, and Michael say, hey, I want to play this deck, and I'm hoping Dusty as well. Maybe we can play a few proper games together, because that frustrates the heck out of me. Just not being able to say to you, hey, look, I've been making these decks, I've been playing these decks, so I can't play Dusty. I can't just say, hey, I want to take my collection and play Dusty. It feels so wrong. It feels so wrong, guys. I'm
confused. You said you wanted to put some positivity into this discussion, and now we're talking about not being able to play the US people. I'm confused.
This is now giving us the opportunity to do that. It's not perfect, not ideal, but it's something. It's a start. We're getting there. We're more.
What is it? What is it? I'm confused.
As you don't know. Okay, so if you challenge a friend, then then there is an option on the deck select screen to request to share your opponent's decks, and if they accept, you then are presented with their list of decks that they've created, and you can pick one and play against them. And you also keep their card back as well. Just a little bit of info there. And it's just a great way that if you do have an extensive collection, you're able to, share that. It's like if you were playing Magic the Gathering and you had a big box of cards and you went down to your local tavern and you were like, hey, here, take half of these and let's play some cards together. And I know Michael is already potentially seeing some benefit in this to lure people into the game.
Yeah, the way that I saw it was this is a great opportunity to get people that maybe are hesitant about jumping in the game, or maybe they just want to experience the game without kind of jumping right into that grind fest right away. So you could be like, if I have a friend, I could be like, download it on your phone really quick. Don't worry, you don't need to buy anything. Just jump on. I'll create a deck for you. You could test it out, and you can get a feel for how the game actually works. Because nothing's worse than like investing money into something that you don't know if it works well for you or not, and then it's just complete garbage to you. So you can do this. Just let that person try it out. They could jump in, they could have fun with it for a bit, and then that could be their ticket in, because they're like, I want to build something like this. I think the mechanics of the game are great. I want to jump in and have some fun with it. And then also, I have a girlfriend that plays, but she is much more casual than I am in the game. So she has not spent money on cards or expansions or anything like that, but maybe she wants to get some of those quests done so that she can get some gold to try and get some of those packs. So now I can be like, hey, come over to my place, build a deck. I won't look at the cards because, she's in the same room. So I'll let her build the deck on her own over on here, and then she'll log into her computer, and then we can just battle with those decks. So
it's a great teaching tool as well, though, because even if you were to build a deck with somebody and then you play against each other, it's like today, Michael, we were playing. You were playing with my Q-Block deck, and I was playing with Paladin deck, and even then I knew what was in my deck, so I knew what was gonna happen if I killed a certain card. But I was even saying to you, like, there's this in the deck, really ideally you'd want to try and do this, and just we were just kind of going through a bit of a like a tutorial really, and it's really interactive. It's fun. I love playing with my friends in this game because you don't really have that aspect of competitive. It's just more fun. I mean, if
it was
RNG
much more fun.
If RNG goes against you when you're playing with a friend, it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't really feel bad. It's fun. You laugh about it.
No.
Well, I mean, I know Marty's had a lot of traumatic times in Hearthstone against me, but but it doesn't feel like, when you're playing some douche canoe on like the ladder.
A douche canoe.
He's spamming emotes, and he's like, well played after every turn. Like, probably a horrible person.
You just know that a horrible person has not listened to episode 41 of the Blizzard Umbrella.
Blizzard Umbrella, yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So, I mean, to me, that's been one of the most incredible features added to this expansion, and I really hope we keep getting more ways to do this, to get people into the game, to be able to, share your collection or share your experience and your knowledge this way. I mean, it's happening over time. We've had like the challenge your friend quest. We've had improvements to be able to do your quests with your friends, and this is just another feature as well. And I think, was it Michael, or I think Michael said about it as well, when tournament mode comes into the game, it's going to be really great to have something like this in the game as well when you're creating tournaments, to be able to kind of open up your card pool and let people participate that way as well. So I do hope that, I mean, even if this would be really cool, if, say for example, the four of us join a tournament in Hearthstone and it shares our entire deck pool, like all our cards, and it says you can make decks from everyone's cards. If you have them unlocked, you just get this collective pool of all our cards and you can make decks out of it. I mean, imagine if you could do something like that. That would be incredible. Just being able to share. It's actually like, Magic the Gathering, having physically the cards, because if you went down with your friend, you'd be able to share them out. You'd be able to play like that as well. So I feel like just being able to share the experience of Hearthstone with your friends is such an important thing. And we've had those restrictions. We still got them region wise, but I'm holding out one day that it just get lifted, and it's like, it's just like Overwatch now. You can share your collection.
Yeah,
But
that would.
this is a start. This is a start, and I'm really, really happy about it. And it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it. It kind of got announced on the last reveal stream with Ben Brode Day 9, which was fantastic again, by the way. Even though they did manage to play Shudderwock and show just how crazy it was, even Ben Brode didn't seem entirely sure what was going on with that card. He was like, yeah, they play it in the same. No, it's random. I'm being told it's random. So even he didn't really know what was going on. Kind of funny. I feel like they'll sort it out. The issues. We always have issues when a new expansion comes and people are crying for nerfs. It's only a couple of days. We'll see what happens. I would say if you want a bit of a fresh experience in Hearthstone, head to the arena. It's really great right now to be able to try out some new cards and synergize them with old cards as well. It seems to be a really refreshing place to me, that because I haven't been there for so long and I've been on the ladder and you keep seeing the same decks and the same kind of combos. Going to the arena, it's like, oh, new expansion. I actually don't know what to expect, and I'm actually having a good time in arena right now. So something to think about. Just there is a few different game modes in Hearthstone. The dungeon run as well. The PvE mode for Witchwood isn't in the game yet. That's coming 2 weeks later. But the dungeon run from Kobolds and Catacombs has been updated with the new cards from the Witchwood as well. So if you do go into dungeon run, you're going to see some of the fresh cards as well. So it's just a good way to try out new cards if you get the opportunity. That's always fun. That's something I've always appreciated from dungeon run as well. So I know I've talked a little bit too much as usual. So
I'm just wondering. We always talk about good podcasting is when you can discuss things, and we now have covered like 4 features or something, and it's been a monologue from you. So thank you for that. So Dusty, what do you think?
I think that a lot of times, man, you guys are harsh, man. You guys are harsh.
It's no wonder I cry myself to sleep.
I don't know, man. I mean, good grief. To be honest with you, a lot of the conversation when a new Hearthstone expansion launches is about the cost of the game. And I mean, the reality of the fact is this: card games are expensive. And when you play a paper card game, whether it be Magic or another card game, you better be willing to put in a pretty penny to get started. And whenever a new expansions last year got launched, it was always the topic on Reddit: this game's too expensive, this game's too expensive. And honestly, the cheapest time to come into a card game or Hearthstone is at the beginning of a new rotation, which is now. And so implementing features like being able to share a deck with someone just helps the game in general. It just overall, it gives a positive vibe to the game, where Ryan and I, who, Ryan, my co-host of the Blizzard Umbrella, he doesn't play very much Hearthstone. And so he and I can get on there and we can, I can share a deck with him, give him a really horrible deck and beat him down and feel really good about myself. Ryan, I wouldn't do that. But I think that they're implementing some really good things in Hearthstone. This year's going to be exciting because we're getting hopefully by the end of the year, the tournament mode. And just the thought of, again, they're going to have to figure out the whole EU and North American servers things, because I really hope that we're able to do like a Blue Umbrella tournament for like the Blue Recluse guys against Blizzard Umbrella, and just like different tournaments that will be easily be done within the client is going to be amazing. But overall, I think the discussion needs to be had. What can Blizzard do to decrease the cost financially for the game that will get people into the game? Because they're trying to add more packs to the pre-order, they're trying to do this and that, but they're really going to have to work on, and they're also, I don't know if you guys spoke about this, they're changing the way the quest work, so you actually get more gold for less work. And so they're trying to decrease the cost, but I really wanted to kind of hear your guys' opinions on the cost of the game in general and what we can do is, I mean, not we, but what Blizzard can do. I'm already working for Blizzard now, apparently. What we can do to fix the cost of the game.
Congratulations on your new job, by the way.
Thank you.
For me, I think the main issue arose when Blizzard took away the adventure and decided to do 3 expansions, because that's a lot of money to throw at the same game over 1 year. I find it did help this time around, because the last few times I haven't bought packs, but this time around I did, because we got the 20 extra packs. It got me into the game now, back into it now, and I'm actually most of the time enjoying the game, except
My
when
jaws that bite, my claws that
Gonna be
catch.
hearing that in the sleep.
but no, I'm actually quite enjoying the game right now. But I don't think this will keep. I don't think the increased pack sizes will actually get me in the next time around as well. I still think it's overall a little bit too expensive.
But let me ask you this, Marty. And I agree with you. The full expansion 135 card, then the adventure, and then they kind of alternated. I agree that kind of decreased the cost, obviously, but I think the problem there is, as you can see, the meta's pretty much figured out, and Tom, you know this, in a couple of weeks, even with a large expansion. And so I think what Blizzard has to figure out, if they're not going to continue with these, which I think they are, I think they're pretty set on this because they're making a ton of money. But like, what could they do as far as like, what do you think would be a better content release schedule? I've often thought of, what if they did like 20 or 25 card sets like every month, where they would basically, it would change up the meta very, very frequently. And the most fun tournaments to watch for Hearthstone, in my opinion, guys, are the ones right after an expansion, when you've got new cards and new mechanics to play with. And so I just kind of want to see kind of what your guys' thoughts on, like, what would you recommend they do? Because I mean, it was 390, almost 400 cards a year. And honestly, that's nothing compared to Magic. Magic does like 400 plus every year, plus the yearly like M25 set. Like, it's crazy how many cards they release. So what would you guys do as far as like a scheduled release for the content?
I think one thing that the paper card games have over something like Hearthstone is
Just trading.
Not just trading, but also pre-built decks. And not just like when you go and buy, like, I used to play Magic, I used to play Pokemon when it was a thing. You could go out, and yeah, these decks are not the best, but they give you a starting point. If a new player could come into Hearthstone and buy even a semi valuable deck that could actually get them up a few ranks, because I did the challenge on stream where we were using the classic Druid with all the cards in there. I was playing through the classic Druid on the ladder. Did not go very far. It was not a fun experience, and that's with me having all those cards. Starting off as a newer player, you're not going to have all those cards. You have to do things to get those cards. So I think if they had, like you said, maybe those shorter releases of a few cards here and there, 25 or so, maybe if they also had a pre-built deck with like a theme that somebody could pick for, like you could pick four or five different pre-builts, then it might entice newer players. Because I think the main thing is getting the newer players into it. Yeah. Established players are going to want, we spend the money already.
Yeah, and I'll shut up after this, but I one thought that I've had, because I don't want you guys to give me grief like you do, Tom. But
no, it's just Tom. It's just Tom. You're fine. You can talk for half an hour, and it will be good.
The one thought I have, and I kind of want to bounce the idea off you guys here live on the podcast. What if they did like a revolving store, where basically 3 or 4 or multiple cards would rotate in a store that you could buy for a pretty large amount of gold? Like, let's say you played the game and you quested and you accumulated an amount of gold, and then there's this revolving store that you could go to, a tab in Hearthstone, where there'd always be 3 or 4 or 5 cards that would rotate through there. I mean, there'd be commons, there'd be rares, there'd be legendaries, but let's just say Prince Liam is in the rotating store, and it's for like 400 gold. That way you don't have to roll card packs to see if you get specific cards. You can save up until you see one that you want come through, and that way you can kind of build a specific deck, and you can hone in on a specific archetype, as opposed to the RNG possibility of opening. I mean, Marty, I know you said you bought the pre-order. I don't know how many legendaries you got out of 70 cards. I know I got really lucky. I think I got like 7. Like every 10 packs I got one.
3. But
like you may get 3. So like, what do you guys think about 2 for Tom? What do you guys think about them doing the revolving store where you could buy cards like that for gold that you actually work for in game?
I have 2 opinions on it. One is a consumer one, and one is a business.
Well, for them business wise, right.
From a consumer standpoint, I like the idea because I don't have to put money into those random card packs, and I can just play the game and just try to get the gold and put it in there. But then from a business standpoint, right now their business model is people buying the card packs. And
Right.
why would, as a player, why would I, aside from speeding up the process possibly, why would I buy a card pack when I can just kind of grind out quests and stuff like that and get the gold to get certain things and try to
get all
target
the other cards, because it's not all, as I hear it, it's not all cards that will be going into the store. It's just like a selected few.
It'd be a select few, but I think that maybe you'd rotate every card in the set through there eventually. But I think we may be underestimating the human nature of impatience, and the reason why mobile games are making so much money, because people are paying to speed stuff up. There would still be the whales where Hearthstone's making most of its money anyways, but you'd also get in the other people who, what if they continue to buy cards with the gold, but they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so close, I'm gonna just buy 10 packs now. So then you're getting that money as well. Maybe it evens out, maybe it doesn't, but like it gives the new players something to look forward to of having that rotating store. And think how cool that would be. It'd be kind of like a pop-up card shop that randomly every day you could go in there and see, oh, you know, Shudderwock's in here, I'm gonna never buy this card, but you know, you would have the option to if you wanted to.
There's a phone game for South Park. It's a card-based one, kind of like what's it called, Clash Royale, and they have a shop where like you can buy the cards, kind of like Clash Royale had as well. And I virtually never paid for it personally. Like I never put gold or anything like that into those one or two cards. But I do think that it's definitely an interesting concept that I'd be interested to see how it works. I say that right now, but then who knows if I'm missing Dr. Boom in my deck, you know, and I see him in there. Dr. Boom's getting the click, you know, but I definitely see its merit.
Yeah, I think
Fun
it's a thought.
fact, I never had Dr. Boom.
You still don't have him?
No.
Remember when he was OP? Everyone was like, "Oh, Dr. Boom." Now he's like, he's nothing. He's like,
No. Bring Dr.
bring
B back.
Dr. B.
That was such a cool card, though. I love that card.
He looked especially good as a sheep when I polymorphed him.
Sorry.
No, it was the boom bots that I was worried about.
I'm trying to think of your question, Dusty, from kind of multiple perspectives from the new player perspective, from the existing player perspective. And I feel like as an existing player, what would be good for me is I kind of like your idea of some sort of rotation happening, but I look at something like Elder Scrolls Legends, and they have a thing where every month they bring out a new card. Like it's just one card. If you get to, I think it's basically the equivalent of hitting rank 20 in Hearthstone. You get this card, and they introduce a new card every month with hope that people will take it on board and try and use it in certain ways. I have to admit, if you're looking for a card game where RNG is not really at play so much and it's more about strategy and skill, I would recommend checking out the Elder Scrolls Legends, because I feel like it does things in some ways a lot better.
It's
than
not a Blizzard
Hearthstone.
game. Shh, it's not a Blizzard game.
It doesn't exist.
And I will pick up my envelope for that. Shut up. But I feel like maybe Hearthstone could like roll with something like that, where every month, maybe, you know, the way like at BlizzCon we were picking these crazy cards for Arena that they were going to put in. Maybe like, what if every month they said, here, we've made these 5 cards, they're available for everyone, they're in your collection, you can use them, you don't have to, and every month, you know, after the month's end, they disappear, and here's 5 different ones. You don't get to keep them, you don't get to craft them, they appear in your collection. You can decide, hey, I could maybe make this work. Might be able to use it in a way that they can put one in just to try and negate something that's being a bit too oppressive on the ladder. Maybe that's not a good way to treat the ecosystem. I don't know. I feel like from a new player perspective, let's get daily rewards in. Let's do that. We had it with doing the quests every day to get a card back before the expansion. I feel like that worked brilliantly. That got a lot of people in doing their quests. It doesn't have to be getting a pack every day. Give a bit of gold, a bit of dust. If you've got, you know, consecutive log on of 5, you get a card pack. Maybe at the end of the month you get a legendary if you've logged in every day of the month. Again, I'm taking that idea from Elder Scrolls Legends. I think it works. why wouldn't you encourage people to log in every day and get into the game? And that way, if people are in the game, they're more likely to invest in the game as well. From a cost perspective, I don't really think Hearthstone is too bad, but I made an initial investment in the first year or two where I bought every adventure and I bought every expansion. That's all I bought. I didn't invest much more money than that. And after a point, I think it was after League of Explorers, I stopped spending any money at all. I did my quests every day. I don't think I've missed a quest in about 3 years. I play every day. I grind my gold. Anytime there's promotions, I'll make sure I log in and get that. I save up my gold. By the time this expansion came out, I had like 8,000 gold. I buy 50 packs with that. I've got some free packs as well. I already start saving for the next expansion before the new one's out. So I'm like, I'm up to like 3,000 gold already towards the next expansion. It takes willpower, takes a bit of grinding, but if you want to do that and not have to pay money, like you kind of do have to do that. And I don't not enjoy logging into Hearthstone every day and doing my quests. You have a bit of a buy period where it's, you can let it build up for 3 days. I just do that. It's a mobile game. You can play it in various areas of your house. For me, it's no big deal. I know some people have issue with that, but I feel like we're getting to a better place. But I feel like daily rewards, let's do that. Yeah. And let's encourage people to log in every day and at least try and complete their quests, because that's a big part. You would be surprised how much your gold can build up if you start saving it. And I understand the frustrations if you were a new player and you don't have a collection.
1,500 gold, baby.
If you don't have a collection at all, like I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you would get into this, because it would be a bit frustrating. That just trying to get in right now and have some sort of collection to work with. Maybe they need some sort of separate versus ladder where you can play other people, but it's only the classic collection. Like maybe it's just there's no rank. It's just like, yeah, you can just play. You can just play. Venus distracted by the chat here. It's I'm sorry, it's your compadre, Dusty. Just causing a bit of a ruckus in the bar.
I'm trying not to look over there because I'm afraid.
I hope there'll be disciplinary action towards him. So yeah, I mean that's
I think that it's an interesting conversation regardless, and I think that in closing of the conversation, they better do something, because Hearthstone has been at the top of the digital card game world for a few years now. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but MTG Arena is about to release. I've been in the beta for a while now. It's really, really not that great, but it has the potential. It has the potential if they figure out their economy and they figure out some stuff. All I'm saying is Hearthstone better figure some stuff out. Because I really want to see them make some really big changes. I don't want them just get into a cadence of I'm going to release expansion, then expansion, then expansion. We're going to rotate a year. I want them to do new, unique things like all of that we discussed today. But I'm excited about the future of Hearthstone altogether.
Yeah, Hearthstone needs competition.
Maybe
Agreed.
Just give us all 50 packs to apologize for putting Shudderwock in the game. Just like, here you go, guys.
Apologize. We messed up. Sorry, guys.
And with those words, I think we've reached the end of the show. Let's head over to the bar so we can close it down and get the hell out of here.
Last orders! Last orders!
So, if my mouse would scroll down, I could actually see the show notes. So,
can I just say, when you set the show notes, like I was expecting to click on that link and for it to be some like robust thing, but then I kept scrolling down and I was like, oh wait, there's
That's
four.
it.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, beautiful,
That's it.
beautiful. I love it.
We don't read from a script here at the Blue Recluse. This is all
no, absolutely not.
We make something from
sorry,
nothing
Marty.
each and every week.
Sorry, Marty. I messed up the last orders. I apologize.
it's all right. I messed it up myself by not scrolling down to what I was actually supposed to look at. But you guys who are listening, you should stay around, because after the show, we have the Freshly Report. So how are you faring in the Witchwood? Are you sick of Shudderwock like me? What's your favorite deck at King Quote? Are you going to BlizzCon 2018? Thank you, Dusty, from the Blizzard Umbrella podcast, for being on the show. Where do we find you and your compadre, Ryan?
Yeah, so just basically, if you like this show here, like I do, and I know many of you love the Blue Recluse, then you need to definitely take a listen to the Blizzard umbrella. We cover Blizzard games, myself, my compadre Ryan, McIrish Gaming over there as well. And we just love to talk all things Blizzard. We're just nerds like you guys. And so go find us over on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Blizzard umbrella.
There we go. Let us know your thoughts about anything we talked about on this episode. Or if you have your own questions, feel free to contact us, because Tom knows how people can do that.
You can head over to your computer and type in the email address, thebluereclusepodcast@gmail.com. And we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, at The Blue Recluse. And why not come over to our Discord, thebluerecluse.eu/Discord, where we talk about Blizzard games. We're talking about Hearthstone a lot now. We're listening to Marty cry about Hearthstone. That's good fun. And it never gets old. Never gets old. And we're on Patreon, patreon.com/The Blue Recluse. And you can find all that information and more in our show notes on our website, thebluerecluse.eu. Of course, we're on Twitch now, twitch.tv/The Blue Recluse. You can find us every Sunday, usually at 6 p.m. British time, 7 p.m. Central European
That's a technical
time.
term, British time.
British summer. No, not summer. It's not summer yet. It's not summer. So yeah, come on over, join the chat. We've had a few people in tonight. It's very nice to see some familiar faces, and we do appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'll shut up now.
Thank you, Dusty, for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks,
For
Dusty.
your presence.
I
hope that I get to do it again. This is it's a lot of fun. I love talking Blizzard stuff, and I'd like to get on. Maybe we can do this around the Hearthstone expansions. But if you guys ever need me to come talk about,
Jaws that bite, my claws that catch.
Yeah, we have a
Honestly,
review after the show.
leave it at that.
We have a review after the show to see, how our
Okay.
guests actually were, and I know it's touch and go, Dusty. I'll say, for you coming back, but I
Okay.
enjoyed you being here. So
Thank you.
I mean, if that, whatever that means, whatever that counts for.
Means a lot.
I think that's it.
Do we
We're
I
done.
think that's it.
I think you got to say goodbye or something, Marty. Or...
Goodbye, everyone. Take it away,
Goodbye.
Frasley.
Goodbye.
Bye. Well, can we keep it going for 10 seconds?
Oh,
Yes, check out the
Isn't it really
MDI, the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, World of Warcraft.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
pretty
Thanks,
good.
Michael.
Weekends,
Thanks.
Saturdays, Friday and Saturday. I
Don't
think.
burn down the tree, Blizzard.
Welcome to episode 34 of the Frazzle Report. I am Frazzly, and I'm here to deliver your weekly World of Warcraft news. Today is Friday, April 13th, 2018. This past week, we saw the announcement of Battle for Azeroth's release date. It will be arriving August 14th. We also saw the announcement of the physical collector's edition for Battle for Azeroth. It is on sale for $100. If you bought the digital or digital deluxe edition, you will get a refund in Blizzard Battle.net balance for the price you paid for the digital or digital deluxe edition. Just don't upgrade from digital to digital deluxe, as you will only get refunded for digital at that point. What is interesting to us is that this physical collector's edition costs $100 compared to the $90 for the Legion physical collector's edition or the Warlords of Draenor physical collector's edition. BFA is the first WoW collector's edition to not include discs in the box. Instead, you get a digital game key. This gnome is still using floppy disks. Installing Legion required 29,465 floppy disks. That took a long time, but at least I had chicken to eat while doing it. There's also now a digital soundtrack download instead of a CD. I was so sad when World of Warcraft's Vanilla Collector's Edition soundtrack didn't come on vinyl. What is it with kids these days and their downloads? There is also a lack of a behind-the-scenes video. In prior years, they would include a DVD, and then they added a Blu-ray. Going back on my rant, they also didn't put the behind-the-scenes video for Vanilla on 8mm reels. These changes forced me to upgrade my home theater system. I'm still running DVDs, but I guess I'll now have to find a way to hook up my IBM 5155 portable computer up to my 15-inch CRT television. BFA continued a trend of disappointments this year. What with the new digital formats? And they didn't include a mouse pad or an art book. But I don't know why people want a bed for the mice in their house, unless it's a pet mouse. I call my exterminator to get rid of them constantly. Being a gnome, some of them are bigger than me. I was hoping this year we might see a return to the papyrus scroll art books for the early video games in the Atlantis era, but I guess not. They did include an amazing Mark of Allegiance medallion with the Alliance crest on one side and a Horde faction logo for those who follow the ways of Sylvanas. This thing looks super cool, and it is about the size of a banana. One of the coolest additions has to be the 2 novellas that they included. This is a hardcover book with very cool art. The description is, "Every great war story has 2 sides." This limited edition hardbook version collects 2 new World of Warcraft novellas depicting the burning of Teldrassil from the point of view of the Alliance. Elegy by Christy Golden, and The Horde, A Good War by Robert Brooks. Christy Golden said on Twitter that they wrote the books together, and it is 2 sides of the same story. I am excited for this. Well, enough of my ramblings about video and audio formats of a long forgotten age. I guess it's time for this gnome to get hip with the cool cats. I just finally got signed up for Zynga this week. This has been the Frazzle Report. I am Frazzly Sparkspan. You can find the show at frazzlereport.com. Oh no, my cassette tape is running out. Good thing we made it to the end.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com. My jaws that bite, my claws that catch.